Let me paint you a picture. Two people. Same age, same starting salary, same city, same everything. One of them started putting a little money away every month in their 20s. Nothing crazy, just a small amount, consistently, over time. The other one kept saying, I'll start when I have more money. And then life got busy, and then the years went by. Fast forward to their 40s, and these two people are living completely different lives, not just financially, in every way that matters. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what that difference looks like. Not to scare you, but because the truth is, if you're still in your 20s or even your 30s, this is the most important video you'll watch this year. Let's get into it. Here's the thing about your 40s that nobody tells you when you're young. They sneak up on you. Your 20s feel endless. You're figuring out who you are, what you want, where you're going. Money feels like something you'll sort out later. When you have a real job, when you get that raise, when life settles down a little. And then your 30s hit and they're busy. Career, relationships, maybe kids, maybe a move. There's always something that feels more urgent than thinking about retirement. And then one morning you wake up and you're 42. And for the first time, retirement doesn't feel like some distant, abstract concept. It feels real. It feels close. And if you never started investing in your 20s, that morning hits different. Because here's the brutal truth about money and time. Time is the single most powerful ingredient in building wealth. More powerful than income. More powerful than how smart you are or how hard you work. And the longer you wait to start, the more time you lose. And time? You can never get it back. Let me show you something that will change how you see this forever. Imagine at 25, you start putting away $200 a month. That's it. $200. Less than most people spend on eating out. You do that consistently, and over time, your money grows. Not because of anything fancy, just because that's how investing works when you leave it alone long enough. By the time you're 65, that $200 a month could grow into somewhere around $500,000 to $700,000, maybe more. Now imagine you waited. You didn't start at 25. You started at 40 instead. To end up in the same place by 65, you'd have to put away closer to $800 to $1,000 a month. Every single month. For 25 years. Same destination. 4 to 5 times the effort. Just because of a 15-year difference in when you started. That gap. That difference between what you would have had and what you actually have. That's the money you lost without ever spending a dollar. It's the cost of waiting. And in your 40s, you start to feel that cost in ways that are very, very real. Okay, so let's get out of the numbers and into real life, because this is where it gets personal. If you're in your 40s and you never started investing, here's what a typical week might feel like. You have a job. You're probably making decent money, more than you made in your 20s for sure. But somehow, it never feels like enough. The bills are bigger now. The house, the kids, the car. Everything costs more than you expected. And there's this creeping anxiety that lives in the back of your mind. Not loud, just there. A quiet hum that gets a little louder every time someone mentions retirement, or asks if you have a 401k, or talks about their investment account like it's the most normal thing in the world. You start doing the math. If I retire at 65, that's only 20 years away. 20 years sounds like a long time until you realize the last 20 went by in a blink. You think about your parents, how they managed, whether they're okay, whether you'll be okay. And the hardest part? You're not broke. You're working hard. You're doing everything right on the surface. But the foundation, the part that was supposed to be quietly building in the background all these years, it's just not there. That feeling is what not starting in your 20s actually costs you. Not just money, peace of mind. Let's talk about what this looks like in practical, day-to-day decisions. When you don't have investments working for you in your 40s, you have less margin. And less margin means more compromises. It might mean you can't leave a job you hate, because you need every paycheck and you can't afford to take a risk. A lot of people stay stuck in jobs they've outgrown for years, not because they lack ambition, but because they lack the financial cushion to walk away. It might mean your kid's college fund is thinner than you hoped, or it doesn't exist at all. And then you're watching your kids take on debt to go to school, knowing you can't do much to help. It might mean you and your partner argue about money more than you argue about anything else, because when money is tight and the future feels uncertain, everything gets harder. Date nights get cut, vacations get shortened or canceled. Small luxuries that make life feel good, gone. And the one that really stings? You can't afford to be generous the way you want to be. You want to help your family. You want to give, but there's nothing extra to give. None of this is about being irresponsible. Most people who are in this situation worked hard their whole lives. They just didn't have the one thing that makes all the difference. Time in the market, starting early. Here's the part of this conversation that doesn't get talked about enough. The emotional toll of financial insecurity in your 40s is heavy. Because in your 20s, if you're broke, it's kind of expected. Everyone's figuring it out. It doesn't carry the same weight. But in your 40s, there's shame attached to it. A feeling that you should have figured this out by now, that you're behind, that everyone else somehow has it more together than you do. And that shame keeps a lot of people from even looking at their finances. They avoid the numbers. They don't open certain emails. They change the subject when money comes up. Because looking directly at it feels like confirming a fear they've been carrying for years. The stress shows up in your body too. Sleep problems, irritability, a short fuse with the people you love. Health issues that doctors trace back to chronic stress. This is real. This is what financial anxiety in your 40s looks like when the foundation wasn't laid earlier. And I'm not saying this to make anyone feel bad. I'm saying it because the antidote to all of this is starting, whenever you are, whatever age. Starting is always better than not starting. Okay, deep breath. Because here's what I need you to hear. If you're in your 40s and you're listening to this thinking, that's me. That's my life. I want you to know something. It is not too late. It is harder. It requires more. It won't look exactly like it would have if you'd started at 25. But the people who make the biggest financial turnarounds in their lives, a lot of them started in their 40s. They just decided that later was better than never. Here's what to focus on right now. First, start today. Not next month. Not when you get a raise. Today. Even a small amount. Because every month you wait is another month of lost time. Second, cut the waste ruthlessly. In your 40s, you likely have more income than you did at 25. That means there's probably money leaking out somewhere. Subscriptions, habits, lifestyle creep. Find it and redirect it. Third, catch-up is real. Once you hit 50, the government actually lets you put more money into retirement accounts than younger people can. That's specifically designed for people who are starting later. Use it. And fourth, change the story you're telling yourself. From "it's too late" to "I'm starting now." That shift alone is worth more than any financial strategy. So if you're in your 20s right now, please take this seriously. Start small. Start messy. Start scared. Just start. And if you're already in your 40s watching this, welcome. You're here now. That matters. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Either way, you're in the right place. If this video made you think, made you feel something, or gave you that little push you needed, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And drop a comment below. Tell me where you are on your journey. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.